All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. I hope you're having a wonderful lunch. My name is Hunter Allen. I'm the owner of Servion Systems. I have the esteemed privilege to give an introduction here to the STS committee presentation and roundtable. We'll click a slide here in a minute. Click, click, Todd, click, click. Technology. The first thing, just a little advertisement. I want to remind everybody that participation on the RSPA committees is something that you can volunteer for. I volunteered to participate on this committee, and it has been very rewarding for me. And so I would suggest to everybody that you take a look at the different committees that exist. And if you find one that has some interest for you, please don't hesitate to speak up and speak to the RSPA staff. We're going to jump to the right slide in a moment. Back. Todd. Where'd Todd go? So there are a couple of things that I just want to start off to introduce us with here today. One of the challenges that I have in my business is I sometimes spend too much time working in my business instead of working on my business. Does anybody else have that problem? So I joined this committee, the STS committee. It was not quite sure what it did when I originally joined, but fundamentally what this committee does is it looks for technologies and products that can be brought to the dealer members for them to be able to grow their business and make money. Looking at the wrong slide here. So with that in mind, what I'd like to do is invite the committee chairman, Todd Cripe, up here to give the introduction of all the details of the STS committee.
Great, thank you, Hunter. And I appreciate all the time that you put in volunteering on the Strategic Technology Solutions Committee. My name is Todd Cripe. I'm the chairman of our committee, and I'm going to sit down. You might wonder what that slide is doing up there. Many of you know that I had a pretty serious accident here a couple months ago. It was a freak accident. I was helping one of my friends and neighbors, a guy named Jason Nichols, who, by the way, works for NCR, load a refrigerator into a pickup truck. And while we were loading that refrigerator into the pickup truck, we had a load shift and really screwed up my arm. Now, that's not a happy or a funny thing, but you have to make light of things like this. So the good news is the doctors tell me I'll be in a great shape in about 6 months, which is just awesome. And even more awesome than that is that the doctor said as long as you're careful, you don't have to wear this contraption that you see up in the photo up there. So I'm just thrilled I don't have to do that. But if any of you have ever had major surgery, or even another incident like a death in the family, what do people always say to you? They say, if there's anything you need, right? Anything at all, I'll do it for you. Well, I'll tell you, there's some things that people just won't do for you. So I've got a lot of compassionate friends and neighbors. They've moved furniture for us. They've cut the grass. They've even done the laundry. But I also have 2 giant dogs. And I can tell you one thing people won't do is that they won't go out there and pick up the dog poop out of your yard. What are we doing with the STS committee? You probably recall that we used to have a different name. We were called the Emerging Technology Committee. And the feedback that we received from the membership was that emerging technology, that's pretty interesting, but it's really not relevant to my business today. And what we decided to do was to change from being the Emerging Technology Committee, which focused on technologies that were a couple years out, and instead change our mission so that we were focusing on deployable solutions that the reseller community could put into their businesses and make money on today. So we've got 4 or 5 things that we're trying to accomplish. Number one, in order to have credibility, we needed to attract and retain industry experts. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. I've got the next slide. I'll show you who all we have on our committee. And we're always looking for other industry experts to join us. The second thing we're trying to do is to increase awareness of innovative solutions. There's a bunch of them out there, and everybody knows about point of sale, but we're trying to profile other solutions that you may not know about and you may not know why you care about them. That's what we're trying to do. We want to identify the vendors that are offering those profiled solutions so you know where to get them. And then we've had a series of articles that we've produced for the Connect magazine where we are publicizing those solution profiles. And the feedback we've gotten on that so far has been pretty good. We're going to ask you today to help us figure out what we're doing going forward. So you'll find some surveys that'll be passed out. They'll say, here's what we have planned for the next 6 to 12 months. And if you like what we're planning, great. If you've got some other things you'd like to see us do, please write those in like a write-in ballot. Lastly, when you take a look at the other 4 bullet points on this slide, what we're really trying to do is to take those vendors that have these innovative solutions and match them up with the reseller members of RSPA that can sell those solutions and in a win-win environment. Here's what our committee looks like. I think you can see we've got a lot of diversification on there. We've got everything from manufacturing to point of sale to loyalty to software development, consulting, just a little bit of everything. We don't all think the same. We've got some very strong-willed individuals on the committee. That makes for some lively discussions, as you can imagine. And then we've got Amber Murdoch as our liaison to help try and keep us on track. If you're not aware of the solution profiles we've done before, these are the ones we've already done. If you didn't see those, I would urge you to track down the past issues of Connect magazine and take a look at these solution profiles. Most of them are very well done. Some of them are excellent content that I think will benefit you and benefit your businesses. And again, would ask you to vote for those upcoming profile topics, because we're doing this as volunteers because we think it will benefit you and your business. Help us out, tell us what you'd like to know about, and we'll put some effort into that. Okay, I think that's about it for what I've got to say. I think I'll turn the meeting over to George Cronius now, and also ask the rest of the panelists to come up and take a seat and let George ask us some questions.